What's good, everybody? This is Dev the Coolest.
And this is Ray Ray.
And this is JB.
And welcome to Slick Talk.
Hey. It lit.
You said what I usually say, which is with a hashtag. And
Right.
I said it's lit.
We twins.
We twins.
We
What you gonna
triplets.
say, Ray?
We triplets.
Sac passe.
Oh,
Mabule. And then we got hello. Welcome back, y'all. We appreciate y'all as usual.
tuning in.
Last Thursday, October 11th, was National Coming Out Day, and we're going to talk about our coming out stories.
Yes.
And how that was for us. Do y'all feel comfortable with doing that?
Definitely.
Sure.
Jamerson's helping.
Come on, Jamie. Shout out to
What's
Jamie.
Jamie, shout out to Jamie.
Hey, Jamie says.
Okay, come through in the clutch.
And over 1,000 streams.
Over 1,000 streams.
Thank y'all.
That is so
That is
amazing.
amazing.
I
That
mean,
is a blessing.
I could even, when we first started this, I didn't even think of 1,000. I mean, I know it's like, some people would be like, oh, that's attainable, blah, blah, blah. But it's so big when it's something that you're so passionate about and you enjoy doing, and you just want to, bring more knowledge and
more
and
conversation
to people's world,
And it definitely, I feel like, our goal of reaching out to people and making sure that the conversation continues, it's definitely showing, because people have reached out to me and say, I really love what you said about this, and this is my thoughts on this. So that's what's even more important to me.
Yeah. I mean, if you just, basically what you're saying is if you just reach one person enough that can change their life, then literally, it makes a huge, huge difference.
All right, so I came out March 2017. What was last year? 2017?
It was.
Yeah, okay. March 2017. That's when I came out to my family, or to my immediate family, to my mother and my father and my siblings. And I decided to come out to my parents over the phone. Reason being is because of our family dynamic, which I won't really go into right now. But I decided to give them that space because I knew I wasn't going to see them for a little while. So I was like, hey, I woke up one morning and I was like, I'm sick of it. Like, I'm sick of just leading this life, and this is the blockage. Like, this is what's stopping me from being my full self around my family.
Powerful.
So I went ahead and called them, or I texted my mother, and I was like, hey, when are y'all going to be available? And she said this time. They called me. And I was like, hey, I took about 3 shots.
Okay.
I said, all right.
3 shots of Jameson, I'm sure.
Oh, yeah, it was Makers, but it was whiskey.
Okay.
It was whiskey nonetheless. I needed something put a little hair in my chest. But the conversation didn't go the way that I planned it to go. I thought I was gonna call and be like, hey, I like it, but that's not what it was. It was I was stuttering. I didn't even know how to say it to them, but I eventually let them know. And surprisingly for me, they were I shouldn't say very, but they were pretty accepting of it. Like, my mother was like, I'm glad you finally told me. Like, I always knew. I'm glad you or
I had an idea.
I had an idea, because nobody knows until you tell them. Nobody knows until you tell them. They feel like they have an inkling that you are, but when you tell them, that's when they know.
Unless they catch you in the bed doing something.
Ooh,
then,
well, maybe my dad did know.
The proof is in the pudding in that case.
Right. Maybe my dad did know then, but no, but my dad's response was, I knew, I just didn't want it to be true. And I think that was more of a like, oh, damn. Like, all right, cool.
Yeah.
But right now, we're over a year and a half later. It's about a year and a half later, and they love me. My whole family loves me. My aunties and uncles and everybody else knows now. And I'm living my best life, and I'm happy. I'm so happy in that weight is lifted off my shoulders.
Right. And I do want to jump on that, too. A piggyback off of that is I remember when you did come out. I remember the specific day when you did come out.
It was March 9th, 2017.
Wow.
I will never
you
forget
literally
that.
sent me a text message. I'm sure you probably still
remember that
other
day.
people.
Yes.
Yeah, of course. Like, this was big. It was happened last year. This man is what, 27,
I'm 28. Yeah, I was 27
now?
when I came out.
Yeah. So I remember when you sent me a text message, like, I came out to my parents. I'm like, I think I was I wasn't as excited, obviously, because it wasn't my story, but I was really excited because I've seen your progression throughout the years growing up. We've been friends for actually a while now.
Very long.
But
All 3 of us, yeah.
to finally see you at this point where you feel completely comfortable and empowered to tell, the people you love the most, your story was very, very touching, and I was so proud of you, and I am still so proud of you.
Thank you.
I was very inspired. I remember all the posts you made on Instagram. And
for my birthday this year, for my golden year, that's when I came out on social media.
Right.
I hadn't been out to my family for a year at that point, but I was like, everybody else gonna know now. So, but
that was very inspirational. Just like putting it all out there. It's just
absolutely,
it was beautiful.
Yeah. What about you, JB?
On his own terms, right?
Yeah.
And that's like y'all. If y'all don't know by now, I don't like attention on me. What about you, JB?
Well, sometimes he does.
I'm a Leo rising, so I present myself as such. But after a while, I'm over it. Yeah.
He likes attention when he got the little alcohol in the system. Trust me. We've been in some situations. I'm like,
JB,
okay, sis, calm
people
down.
are curious to know if you're coming out starving.
Because at the pride of it. No, I'm just kidding. No, but yeah. Stop, I said.
That's my line.
Yeah, I know, right?
You're right.
I'm still in your line. Yeah, so what I do want to preface it by saying that I feel like my whole family, and some friends growing up had an idea about me all alone. And I say that just to give a little background. When I was growing up, I was like way more feminine, than I am right now.
Got it out your system.
I guess that's what it is. But I used to do some crazy things that would at that time be characterized as being feminine.
Yeah.
And so obviously when a young boy, a young boy shows those type of characteristics, the automatic, assumption is that this little boy or whatever is gay. So I always had that assumption
placed on you.
Yeah, placed on me in the cloud, but I never confirmed it. I never said it because I was struggling with it myself. You're telling me what I am, and I truly don't know what I am.
Right, telling you before you even had the opportunity to figure it out.
I'm like, but what is gay? Like, I know what I like to do, but I don't know if that necessarily, clarifies me as being gay. So, or even bisexual, classifies me as being gay or bisexual, whatever the case may be. Anyways, fast forward, I finally became comfortable enough and identified who I was as a person when I was like 18 years old, which is essentially like 2005. And the person I love the most, actually there's two people, my grandmother and my mom, but I have more of an open dialogue with my mom. It's crazy, I remember a specific day, but I was driving, I was in my car, she was in the passenger seat, I was taking her to a dentist appointment or a doctor's appointment, either one. And we were sitting in the car and we were waiting, and I was just like, so just random having a conversation. And I'm so thankful. I do want to say as a sidebar, I'm so thankful that I do have an open conversation with my mom, and I feel like I can completely tell her everything. And that's amazing, something that I don't take for granted.
Yeah.
But yeah, we're sitting in the car, and I'm just like, so I'm gay. And she, and her first response was she's so funny in her own right. But she was just like, but why?
Not but why.
She said, but why? And I'm like, because it's hereditary.
Right.
Me, I had to be funny with it.
To me. I love your mom so much.
Right? Isn't she amazing? So I just had to be funny with it for the moment, because I know from her past comments and her view, and I know that it's something that she struggled with.
Right.
So I was trying to make light of it, and I was like, it's hereditary. She was like, yo, daddy ain't gay. And I'm like, yeah, I know he's not gay. But I don't know. And I told her, I was just like, it's just something that I am. It's something that I feel like I identify with for a long time, and blah, blah, blah. So to be honest with you, it's crazy because I came out to her, but deep down inside of me, I never thought it was necessary to come out to anybody else. Like, I never thought it was necessary. I just let them. I just continued to live my life.
Yeah. Speculate all you want.
Because at the end of the day, it's like I'm happy now that we're at a place in society where people, we're still growing and we're still getting there, but we're at a place in society right now where people shouldn't, and in some cases don't have to acknowledge their sexuality and say, hey, this is who I am.
Yeah. Right.
So back then, that's kind of probably the idea that I had, where I said, I'm just living my life for me. I don't need to give you this type of information and say, this is who I am. You can see me with a dude and I can call him my boyfriend, but I don't need to come to you and tell you that I'm gay.
Yeah.
You can figure that out on your own by
Very
the
true.
actions that I take as a grown-ass man, right?
True.
So I never really told anybody else and came out to anybody else besides my mom. Everybody else just fell in line. And was
your grandmother, you said, right? Or you said you just saying those are the two people that
those are the people that I am the closest with. That, you know, I love the most.
That's amazing.
So that's what.
And from that day forward, she was just fine. She was like, I wouldn't say fine, but I know I'm pretty sure she asked. So where's your girlfriend? Even after coming out,
she is so funny, and it's crazy because I'm an only boy out of 3 kids by my mom.
Yeah.
So she, you know, growing up, she was like, I want a grandbaby, and I'm like, but you know, the other 2 girls can give you a grandbaby. Like, why are you putting all this pressure on me? But it's because I'm the only boy.
Yeah.
But I do want to wrap it up by just saying that it's amazing the evolution of thought from my parents, because even after a while, my dad finally it was kind of confirmed, not specifically by my words and saying this is what I am. Well, I actually did tell my dad that I was bisexual. I did. That was like way after. It was kind of just like a random conversation. But just the growth that I've seen from them and everybody else with accepting me for who I am and what I'm doing was just amazing. The fact that my dad was able to meet my ex-boyfriend and like shake his hand and take a shot with him, I'm like, oh, this is amazing, because my dad came a long way.
Yeah.
From me growing up, came a long way. So I'm just happy that, you know, I have a strong support system that loves me for who I am right now. Yeah. And that's really, really important. I encourage anybody, like, you know, anybody to accept people for who they are.
And be your true authentic self.
Be your true authentic self.
Because it's beauty on the other side. What about you, Ray Bay?
Oh. But the thing about coming out is, like, you have to do it over and over and over. So I came out to my brothers in separate occasions, you know. I grew up here, around in Sacramento.
Yeah.
And I haven't lived with my parents since I was probably, like, 11. I grew up with my older brothers.
Oh, okay.
So
I didn't know that.
Yeah,
I didn't know.
My parents still lived in Haiti, but they moved us here to have, you know, the chance for education and stuff like that. So I never really came out to my mom. I knew that my mom knew, and I even before my mom passed away, I know my brother and her were having conversations about it, but she never approached me. And for me, it's just I understood, you know, being Haitian and being Catholic and being very religious, it's not an easy conversation to have with her. And I was also not in the right space to have it. So we never had that conversation before she passed away. But coming out to my brothers, I came out to one brother when I was 18, and that was back in 2006. Yeah. And I had a great response from that. The other brother found out, you know, the worst way.
How was that? I'm curious now. Not the worst way. What's the worst way?
Porn on the internet, you know.
Bloopity.
I thought I erased the history, and I didn't erase it
we all have
thoroughly.
That story.
Yeah, right.
It's crazy.
And then my other brother, I came out to him. I think it was a holiday. And there were some tears and all, but you know what? He was like, hey, I love you. You're amazing. And that doesn't change anything for me.
Yes, brother.
Yeah.
Shout out to that brother.
All my brothers have really stuck by me, and they've been there for me. They've given me advice on guys.
Okay.
You know, so.
Has your brother ever, like, went into detail about the conversation that he would have with your mom with regard to your sexuality?
One of my brothers that did have conversation with her, yes. It was kind of an argument.
Okay.
And I told him, you know what, you don't have to do this.
Yeah.
I never really saw myself like having to. I never wanted to explain it to her. I never expected her to get it. But to be honest, I knew that my mom got it, and she understood that this is something that's natural to me.
Right.
Because I remember we were having. I don't know. I was just having like a conversation with her, and I was making her food and stuff, and she looked at me. And she says, "You are a beautiful soul."
Oh.
And that was one of the...
And you are.
Thank you.
Come on, mama.
Yeah.
That's probably something that you will remember for the rest of your life.
And if you knew my mom, you knew that she was telling me, like, I get it, I'm okay with it.
Yeah.
Without saying it, because my mom is the most proudest Haitians.
No, listen.
Okay? She would never apologize to you, but she will code it to you. She
gonna let you know, but not let you know. Yeah.
That's beautiful.
That's beautiful.
And what about your dad?
My dad, we don't have that communication. We don't. And I don't know how to get him up to speed. But my dad also, I know my dad knows. Because where's your girlfriend question, it stopped coming up years ago.
Oh.
Yeah. But
so you're just like, I'm waiting.
But, I think the distance, me living here and not having seen each other for a very long time, we don't have that communication with each other. It's, how are you doing? How's life? Are you okay? Are you eating? That's the question you always ask me, stuff like that.
So just in general, I think America is like the first kind of like country that people look towards for like progression on a lot of things, and they look for as like the leader in the world. Do you think with
this regard?
Yeah. With this regard,
I look at Amsterdam for other shit.
That's right. And Canada too, right?
Right.
So, do you think with the progression that we've made here, and him knowing that you like pretty much all his sons, right?
Yeah.
Live in the United States.
Well,
do you think that
not all his sons?
Well, not all his sons. Okay. Well, most of you guys live in the United States. Do you think that possibly has changed his view on it at all, or the way he thinks? And this is just assuming that he's not a big fan of it. Do you think if you met him, if you told him today that?
Here's the thing. I've heard from other people that my dad's not a big fan of it. However, I've never actually spoken to my dad directly about that.
Yeah.
So, and one thing I've learned about my family is that a lot of people put their own fears on our shit. So, this is something I'm gonna be brave enough to talk to him about, because one day I'm gonna be married to a man, and he's gonna be invited, and this is the groundwork that I have to put in very soon.
Exactly.
And that's something that I've been wrestling with. I'm 30 years old and I haven't come out to my dad formally yet, even though I know he knows.
Yeah.
It's just that it's like that thing we don't talk about, and we both understand that. So it's very weird for me. But
well, I'm confident that either way, you'll be secure and your heart will be full with love, and you'll move on throughout your life, whatever the case may be, and
whatever the case may be.
I haven't said that in a long time, huh?
You say that all the time.
You just
No, I used to say it all the time.
You said it earlier
And I
today.
was checked. Our producer was just like, you say that all the time. I had to edit out. I had to edit
But
this
no, I'm sorry. Finish
all
your
out.
thought, though, because
No, that's
what you
all
were
I'm
saying was
saying.
really
Is I do want to
beautiful.
just, send that love out there to make sure that, when that time comes, because obviously, just like you said, it will come, that it's surrounded in love, and, that everything is okay, and you got our support and your man's support,
Right.
as long
You got
as
people
well as
that
a lot of
love you.
Yeah.
So
Well, the most beautiful thing about it is that my brothers support my relationship right now.
Okay.
So that is something I'm very thankful for.
Shout out to those allies, man.
The allies are important in our family and our everyday lives.
Shout out to those allies
in every situation.
Absolutely.
Shout out to all of us for sharing our stories, because I feel like
Shout out.
that is important. Like, thank you.
Absolutely.
Thank Ray
Thank
Bay,
you.
thank JB, so y'all can know who
Thanks,
I'm talking
Dev,
to.
the coolest. Thank
individually,
you.
for sharing our stories, because it's important. There are so many people out there, older than us and younger than us, that are still battling this in their own fight. They, in whatever situation that may be, they are fighting that, right?
Yeah.
And us speaking about our experiences is very important.
Absolutely.
For these people,
Absolutely. And I do want to, as a sidebar to that is I do want to say that everybody's coming out. Like, don't feel forced to come out.
Come out on your own
Come
time.
out on your own terms. Don't feel forced to
Yes.
come out because you think, being gay is cool now. It's not
a cool
as bad as
thing,
it
or
used
you're in
to
a
be.
relationship with
Exactly.
someone, like you're with someone, so you feel like because you're with
Somebody
someone
you
that's
have
of the
to.
same sex, you have to come out.
Exactly.
Like,
come
don't
out on your own
come
terms.
out on your own
Yeah.
terms.
Come out when you're ready to come out and you feel confident in what you're going to be entering and everything like that. I think that's really important.
You will only live this life once.
Very true.
I will say that, in addition to everything that we've already said, the reason why I came out is because I came to the realization that I only live once, and I want the best for my life. And
Absolutely.
be selfish in your self-care.
It's very true.
Because being in the closet, for me, was very, very, very detrimental. Like, it wasn't good for me. So I had to come out so that I can be in this space now to have these comfortable conversations
Absolutely.
on this very public platform.
And just for growth in general.
And for growth
I don't know
and-
how a man or anybody
growth
can grow.
as a black man, like,
Yeah.
for growth and everything, and the improvement within my family. But I think all of us can agree that coming out has been one of the best things that we've done for ourselves.
Absolutely.
It's very important to take care of yourself first,
Absolutely.
because that really helps you.
Selfishly.
Yes, because if you don't take care of yourself and you're worried about everybody else is gonna be good.
They're gonna forget about you.
Exactly.
If you dead and gone, they're gonna forget about you. I mean, they're not gonna forget about you, but they're not gonna really their life is gonna continue.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying?
They're going to be in search of their own happiness, and you are over here hiding who you are, and you're not shining to the world because you're worried about how everybody else is going to feel about it.
Yeah.
That you can't do that.
Or you're unsure. We do want to. There are people out there that are completely unsure on, how they want to be identified in the road. That's fine. Take your time to figure it out. If you need some, what is important to all of us as well is that we think Black mental health is important. All mental health is important, but we highlight because we have a specific kind of experience to being, Black mental health or whatever the case may be. If you need somebody to speak to, and you can't speak to nobody, anybody that is in your family or friends or anything, seek therapy. Seek somebody else to come to give you a different perspective of what you're trying to decide in your life. Oof. Not everybody knows about me. Fuck.
Shit, I came out again.
No, damn.
If we didn't come out episodes 1 through 8, we came out now.
Damn, they know I like guys.
That's the thing though about being gay. You come out so many times to different people.
But anyway, we appreciate y'all for tuning in.
Thank you so much.
This is Slick Talk once again. And
this is Slick Talk.
We will see y'all in 2 weeks.
Peace.